Everything was so good up until my last swim. I'm not happy with the 50 fly at all. It was one of those swims where I looked at the scoreboard, I was like, the pad's wrong. So it was like, I mean, that's exactly how I wanted to swim. Warm up was great. We don't have pot belly in Florida. So I had pot belly. I actually napped. I mean, everything was just, I checked every single box. So it was just one of those swims where I looked at it and said, oh. So it kind of stung to end it on that. But everything else, the order of importance was technique and then stroke count and then tempo and then time. So if I can get out of my own way and actually focus what the plan was with Steve, it was a very, very successful swim meet. All things considering, been back for not even, 2 months. So we've been really, I mean, the first month and a half was all technique. I didn't really sprint until like 2 weeks ago. This is not no excuses or anything. So I just need to, again, get out of my own way and take it for what it is. And I'm in a really good spot. I've gone times I haven't gone in like 2 years. So about around what I was at Open 2 years ago leading up to Paris. So I need to relax. It was a very good swim meet. I actually need to believe that. It's been great. We had a couple sit downs before we actually got rolling with it. The first meeting was just, very special. I've never closed the door with anybody, but especially not Steve. He's been very involved with my family. He's gone up to my parents' property. So I've always had a great relationship with Steve. And even during the time of, training by myself last year, it was just him believing in me. And I think that was the biggest thing of, having that sit down meeting with him and going over what do we want this to look like? Why do I want to do this? What's our plan going to be moving forward? So it's been a lot of work, but worth it. Baby steps, figuring out what our language is again, because this isn't, not 20 years old, 29. So figuring out what our language is in the water. And quite honestly, I don't think we missed the beat. So it's been very, very fun with Steve, with Sean. So he was on deck with Santo, obviously. But yeah, it's been, I don't want to just keep saying fun, but honestly it has been, just rekindling that relationship of swimmer coach on deck. But yeah, I'm excited for January. I think I'll be in a little bit better shape then. But yeah, it was really, this first phase was a lot of technique work. Yeah. So I reached out to Keenan, and I'm just being straightforward. I said, who's left in the sport that you trust? And Sean was one of the first names he threw out. I didn't know that Sean was under Keenan. I didn't know Sean went to ASU. I didn't know any of this stuff. So credit to Keenan for just, playing it cool. I don't want to call it an interview, but I had 2 phone calls the day, whatever the meet was called last year that I did in August in California, which is called Nationals. When I did Nationals, as soon as 50 free ended, I was on a call with Sean that night, and basically telling him, what my goals are, what I want to accomplish. Not ready to be done. I don't want to be done, but I need a much more personalized plan. So Sean's been fantastic. We text every day. So it's remote training, obviously, but we text every day. I've already been to California once to do my preliminary testing, and then I'll probably go back December, January, maybe February to go back and retest with him and train with his group for a bit. But I think the cool part with Steve is we can kind of bounce around. It's just me and Steve at the moment. We've already had some people reach out, come in and train, which we'd be more than welcome to do that. I might go train with the Mean Girls at UVA, which is, yeah, I feel like we all know who the Mean Girls are. They're not actually mean, they're sweethearts. But yeah, we might go up and train with Mean Girls and Todd. I think that'd be a good time. So yeah, looking forward to the next cycle. We're in a very, very, very good spot. Well, hopefully me. I think this season, obviously, talking through the whole, what my schedule is going to look like with Megan, the focus is her and the kids, and swimming comes second. And there's still a way to do that and swim fast. I really think that. And I'm not so much figuring that out now. I really think I found a good routine with Steve. But I told him from the get-go, I said, what do you need from me? How many times do you need me to see me a week? But the focus was always Megan, August, and Josie. And I love that role, prioritizing them over everything, but it's still tough being away. I want to give them, the life they deserve. And I think I said this maybe in California, maybe not, but I'm the bottom of the totem pole. Their happiness, their comfortability, that's way above mine. So it's a role that I've taken on, and I love being a part of that. So it's it's simplified things, to be honest, in a weird, as I'm like speaking out loud, it has simplified my life in a way, because they're priority, and then swimming. There's not much debate other than that. And then I'm at the totem pole. So yeah, I welcome the role, and I like it a lot.